Hi, good morning. This is Miss Amen, and today I am going to be going over the Unit 1 activity for the High School Career Explorations course. So the Unit 1 activity is the Exploring Career Options activity. In this activity, you're going to have to research different career clusters and pathways. You're going to have to conduct online research to collect information, make observations, and communicate that information back to me in written form, and you're going to have to employ online tools for research and analysis and use critical thinking skills to communicate effectively. So in this activity, you're going to need to choose 3 careers. Now, I know this says 3 pathways, but if you choose careers, it's going to help give you more information to successfully complete the activity. So that's my recommendation, is that you choose a career and not a pathway. So to start, you're going to need to go to this link for career clusters and choose 3 career clusters. Now, the 3 that I am going to choose are going to be related to my background, my education. But if you do not know what the different clusters are, make sure that you spend some time, at least just click on and read the brief overview at the beginning to get a better idea of the cluster. The 3 that I'm going to use for an example are education and training, business management and administration, and then lastly, marketing. Okay, after you've chosen your 3 career clusters, you're going to need to go to the Jobs Information Network. And research some of the different careers in each of those 3 clusters. So you can sort here by clicking on the clusters. I'm going to go to education and training first and click go. And you want to see what the difference are between certain careers, especially if they're very similar to each other. So, for example, you can see I previously selected business teachers post-secondary. Now, post-secondary is going to mean college. So this is a college professor type of position. Now, notice there's also career and technical education teacher secondary. That's going to be closely related to any type of career teacher, whether it be business, health, uh, trying to think of some other ones, technology, all those different kind of electives, career related teachers that you have at school. I'm going to click on this one just to get more information. Okay, so the first thing that it asks, and I'm going to look at the details instead of the summary. You want to try to get as much information as possible. And notice that it does tell you here the different areas that it can take you to. So I'm going to click on education because it asks for the academic requirements. Okay, so notice, and I'm actually going to scroll up a little bit because it gives a little bit more information about that up here. Okay, notice that most people in this career field have a bachelor's degree, so I definitely would want to put that on there. But you can also see that there are a few with a post-secondary certificate or master's. You're also going to want to include some of this information. Again, make sure that it's not just word for word on here, copy and paste it. It needs to be in your own words. But I would probably include that most require a 4-year bachelor's degree. They also should have spent time in that career field or know the skill or have background knowledge or experience related to that job. So you notice it says that they need to have several years of work-related experience or on-the-job training. Another thing that most teachers have is some type of an internship, so I'd want to include that. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for the academic requirements. So again, I'm going to go back to the document for education and training. I'm going to put career and technical education secondary. I could also do middle school. I'm actually certified in both, so it doesn't, it doesn't even have to be that specific, but just for purposes of this, just choose one. The requirements are going to be pretty much the same. And again, I'm just going to say and so on. Again, more detail, make sure that I would include all of that, but for purposes of saving time, I'm not going to type all of that out on here. But again, some of this information about job training, work experience, all of that you need to be able to get a career in that field. That's the academic requirements. So you're going to do that for each one of these, but what I suggest is just doing one at a time so that you don't have to keep flipping back and forth between careers. So next, I'm going to go on to task 2, which asks for the skills. So since I'm already on the Jobs Information Network, I don't have to click on the link again. I'm just going to, again, type the career. So career and technical education. And for this one, I'm going to start looking for some of the skills. So if I scroll back up to the top, right here it says skills. Now notice there's a bunch of different skills. Make sure that you include some of those. You might want to explain the skills instead of just putting speaking, critical thinking. You might want to explain some of those. Also make sure to include some of the technology skills. And some of these abilities can also count as skills, so you probably want to include a few of them as well. You're really just explaining some of the requirements, skills, aptitudes that someone needs to have to be able to do the job that you chose. Okay, so after you've completed that, again, you want to make sure that you have done that for all 3 clusters, picked 3 different careers, explained in task 1 the education and training requirements or academic requirements for all 3 of the careers. You want to make sure that you've listed the skills for all 3 of the careers that you chose. And then lastly, for task 3, this is going to require some on your own research. You need to list your 3 careers. So I'm going to start with my first one. Now, you can either list them or you can hit enter and actually list them this way by creating a numbered list and listing the 3 schools. So my degree is actually secondary education and business. So I know that career and technical education is a little bit broader than that because it also, again, includes some of those other areas I mentioned. But I'm going to put have to put 3 different schools that either offer a career and technical education program or something specifically related to business, because that's more what I'm thinking while researching this. So I'm gonna go to this website just because I know that they have the program and look at undergraduate programs and go through and try to find one related to the degree that I would want to earn or that I would need to prepare for that career. So on here, I see business education. I'm going to click on it. Okay, you want to make sure, because you're going to have to choose the best option for you. You want to make sure that you do review the program, get a little bit of more information about the school, where it's located, if it's actually a school that you would want to attend. And you're going to need to do that for 3 different schools and list them on your document. So the first one I'm going to put is Western Michigan. And then I'm going to need to go research another school. So same thing, if I wanted to, since it does say in your state, and I'm looking at Michigan, I would probably look at U of M, I'd look at Michigan State, I'd probably look at Central, Eastern, some of the big schools. I could look at some of the smaller schools, Wayne State University, any other schools that you can think of. It's up to you to look into them, see if they have a program necessary for the career that you want, and to make sure that it's actually a school that you would want to attend. After you've listed your 3 schools, I'm just going to pick 3. Again, I would want to research them and make sure they have the program, but I'm just going to put Eastern and okay. So 3 schools, again, make sure that you've researched them. Don't just pick any random 3. And then you need to put an explanation underneath which one you would choose and why. I'm just okay. So I would choose Western Michigan University because explain why that's the best option based on research, based on location, based on any other factors, and a paragraph about that. You're going to do that for each of the careers that you chose. You may want to do something to, kind of highlight your career just to make it stand out. You can bold it. You're going to want to do that for all 3 of them. And that is what I'm looking for on this activity. So if you scroll down to the bottom on the last page, you can see that choosing the 3 career clusters is worth 10 points. Choosing 3 careers is worth 10 points. Identifying the academic requirements is 10 points. Okay, for task 2, same thing, 10 points for each career listing the skills. 10 points for identifying the colleges for each of them, and then 30 points for your explanation of why. So make sure that you do that research on the website, any other additional research you do, and really explain in detail why those are the best options for you. Okay, that's it for this activity. If you have any additional questions, please let me know. You can, call or text me or email me with any questions you may have. I hope that this helped you better understand how to complete this activity. Thank you so much for your time and have a nice day.